feeling, because the only thing that you can let down really at the end of the day is if you drop your values for just an inconvenience, a bump in the road, an obstacle, an adversity that you face, something that you have to really...
You can measure a man by the values that he carries. I firmly believe that. I spread that message commonly. It's very important for men as well as women to decide, what are my values? My values are to love and respect and to treat people with kindness. I believe in that values. Martin Luther King, Jesus, and Gandhi would believe in those values. It's like, figure out what drives you. Figure out what your code of conduct is, your code of chivalry, what you need to be doing in life. Never sacrifice those values for anything. Scarface would say, I got two things in life. I got my balls and my word, and I never sacrifice them for anything. So that his story ended terribly, so I don't know why I'm quoting him. But there's the notion of, hey, you got to stand for something in life. And I appreciate this guy's touching on the idea of values. Figure out what your values are. Figure out what values are you really believe in. Adopt those values and strive to meet those values every single day of your life. And ultimately, you will become a symbol for those values. If those values that you've chosen are good and you practice them every day, then you are good. And you believe in that. And so I really appreciate what he just included, that, in the sense of values. You can measure a man or you can measure a woman by the values that they carry.
Own up to at the end of the day. And I think that letting people down is just a part of life. So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like you've let someone down, that you failed your parents, that you failed your girlfriend, your wife, your kids, whatever, you should use that. But you also shouldn't let it define your identity. You shouldn't let it be a part of who you are. You shouldn't let it define where you want to take your life and where your values are taking your life. Because if you're letting people down, that probably means you're trying at something worthwhile. You're probably trying to make yourself better. You're probably trying to make your family better. You're probably trying to enter into a state where you can feel like you are getting to a place that is going to be an improvement over where you are. Because the only people that don't let anybody down at all are the people that don't try anything worthwhile. The people that don't go for something, the people that don't try for something, the people that don't really have a dream and work towards it, or have a calling on their life that God has placed on their heart and go for that thing. So you're going to let people down. You're going to let yourself down. You're going to fail. But at the end of the day, the only real failure, the only really letting yourself down, is if you don't go for anything at all. But you'll never know if you don't try. You'll never know if you start letting people down in a way that at the end of the day will make you better.
For my own personal journey, I went through, a massive humbling. I thought that I was this, I really tried to be this perfect person. I had the best of intentions of being this great husband and great father. And I ended up getting, having a really difficult and rocky divorce. And ultimately, I came out of that, and I felt that it was rough. It was rough to feel that I had the best of intentions of being these things, but in looking back on it objectively, I fell far short of who I wanted to be, and it was just a very difficult marriage, and I felt that it had gone so far from what I had expected it to be. It was stunning, and it left me reeling for years afterward, and it really put me into a state of wanting to, heal and process and figure out what happened. How could you have such good, high expectations of yourself and such, intentions that I identify with today? From the time that I was a kid, I wanted to be a great father and I wanted to be a great husband to a wife. So how do you have the great intentions, intentions that I still hold to this day, and have that go so horribly wrong? So life can really, intentions, what I learned from that is intentions don't equate to actions. Wanting something versus being something are entirely different. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. You measure a man by the values that he carries. Is he practicing love? Is he practicing respect? Is he practicing kindness every single day? Is he taking the high road? Is he, does he believe in his values, and does he practice those values? That's what matters. And so I think, as much as it's difficult in my life, my divorce was catastrophic. My life was ripped in two, and I felt that I felt like an insect being pinned down and dissected. In the process of going through a divorce, you're dealing with an ex that's bitter. You're dealing with lawyers. You're dealing with a court that doesn't seem to care about you. And it's very humbling and a massive amount of adversity, and you're seeing your bank account drain at exponentially. It's a very hard time in your life. But as this guy kind of alluded to, sometimes these moments in our lives are moments that we are the most grateful for. I went through a period of excruciating pain with him in my divorce, but I look back on that, and certainly I wouldn't want to go through it again. But I would not be the man that I was today had I not gone through such extreme adversity. And in a very perverse way, I'm thankful for it. And I came out of my divorce thinking, my ex did not think I was a great man. My ex did not place value on me, and that was like a thorn in my side. It was like an irritant, and I felt that no, what does it mean to be masculine? What does it mean to have value as a man? What does it mean to be a good person? What does it mean to be a good husband? What does it mean to be a good father? And this idea that I had, somebody had valued me as not being those things got under my skin, and it irked me, and it made me consider it. It made me thrash about, and made me hostile. It made me wanting to prove to myself, what it was. And it sent me on a journey of self-discovery. It certainly sent me on a journey of self-reflection, and realizing and then trying to come to grips with. I didn't want to be somebody that was just propped up by falsehoods, or propped up by just making myself pat myself on the back and make myself feel good. I didn't want any of that. I wanted to be real. I wanted to really be a good husband. I wanted to really be a good father. I wanted to, for me, what that means is constantly striving to see the people in my life, love them, to acknowledge them, to put myself apart, put myself aside, so that I can really truly see the people in my life, and make my life about the journey of serving my family, serving my wife, serving my kids, and lifting them up and encouraging them, and being somebody that is infinitely supportive of them, infinitely knowing of them, and appreciating them, while at the same time wanting the best for them, and wanting being a figure of supreme positivity and supreme love. And I think it so just to kind of, I've been rambling a bit, but just to bring it back to something coherent, in my life, I faced extreme adversity, and I think when you are made low and you are humbled, sometimes that's the greatest gift that you can give, you can receive, because there's nowhere to go but up. It takes a tearing down. It takes a tearing down of the idea of what you were. You thought you were great, but you weren't great. And life, cast you into the dirt and showed you that you're not above other people. You're not perfect. You're far from perfect. And you got a lot of work to do. And are you really committed to being a great man? Are you really committed to being a great husband? Are you really committed to being a great father? Because if you are, you got a lot of work to do. And if you climb that mountain, the reward is quite sweet. I think for me, arriving at my values of treating people with love and respect and kindness is a godsend. It taught me that, whatever beliefs I had before are irrelevant. At the end of the day, life is about servitude. Life is about communion with other people. Life is about relationships with human beings, not about the pursuit of education or money or monetary things or social status. It's about connecting with other people and lifting other people up and loving other people. Life is all about love. I've got Martin Luther King here. I've got Jesus here. I've got Gandhi here. These are men that believed in love and believed in humanity. And so for me to have kind of gone through this process to arrive at that, I feel very fortunate. And anyways, I've been very long in the tooth. I'm a very philosophical person. I appreciate you staying with me in the pocket here. But I'll live there. So this has been the Movement with Danny Unitas. I really appreciate you watching the channel. Please like and subscribe if you like what I'm talking about. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.